Hello and welcome to Gamers Table, a discussion of tabletop role-playing games, war games, movies, books, and other related topics. Be warned, this show may contain some explicit material that may not be suitable for all audiences.
Hello and welcome to Gamers Table. My name is Eric.
This is Mike.
This is Dan.
This is Mark.
This is Greg.
This is Jason.
And I'm Sean.
This episode we're going to talk about unlikely heroes. What the hell does that mean?
Well, we should have recorded all the leading up to this, trying to figure out what it means.
Yes.
What I mean by unlikely heroes.
Shrek.
Shrek is a good example of an unlikely hero.
Oscar Schindler.
Oscar Schindler is an interesting choice, but yes.
My dad's calling Sean.
Hello?
Unlikely heroes.
Yeah,
Jason's dad. Is that a waffle maker back there, Jason?
Yes.
Brilliant.
Make our own one.
We had Waffle Wednesday a couple weeks ago.
Mojito Monday.
Okay.
Yes.
My wife found something on Pinterest.
Okay. She's a Pinterester, huh?
She's a Pinterester.
So am I.
She found the Avengers drinks.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw that.
Interesting.
Yes, and I have the ingredients at home to make the Hulk.
What's in the Hulk?
Absinthe,
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Midori, and Mountain Dew.
I loved Mark's description of absinthe as minty kerosene. It's like one of my favorite Mark-isms from the show. Because that's about right.
Yeah, so I'm going to try this out tonight when I get home. 1 part absinthe, 1 part Midori, 3 parts Mountain Dew.
I just had a puke shiver.
What's Midori?
It's a melon flavored.
melon.
It tastes like watermelon Jolly Ranchers. It's pretty awful.
I would actually probably really like that.
No, mint, kerosene, watermelon Jolly Rancher, and what's the other?
Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew.
Can I have a Hulk no absinthe?
No,
No.
Can I have a Hulk no crazy?
because what I haven't tried it yet, but with those 3 ingredients, supposedly it glows.
Interesting. Well, I will say along these lines,
winded.
one of the douchebags I knew who was like super into L5R got us all to play the game at the shop.
He's gonna be
He
on
always went to Archon and he ran a table and it was the 5 rings shots. Until you got to the Void, it was really good. But the Void, I'm pretty sure it was just Everclear and peppermint schnapps.
In other words,
And it
trying to
was
make
horrible.
you void your bowels or void the contents of your stomach on the table.
No.
We should just keep all that.
All right, that's fine with me. So unlikely hero, Oscar Schindler. Yes,
Bruce Banner.
Bruce Banner is an unlikely hero. There's 3 different categories that I came up with. Okay, there's the everyman or the boy next door.
Fievel. Not your dog.
There's
The actual original mouse.
There's the misfit turned hero, and then there's the cynical dick with a heart.
Me.
So
You mean
We're still
Han
waiting
Solo?
to find the heart.
Okay, so would then Riddick from the movies be considered?
He's an anti-hero.
Yeah, I was
he's
gonna
more
say
of an
anti-hero?
Yeah, 'cause there is a
Well, he's
difference.
definitely a reluctant hero.
Yeah, but there's a
Reluctant
different.
hero.
There's a difference between. Okay, yes, an anti-hero I suppose could be an unlikely hero.
And we've already done that episode.
Yeah, we've already done that
Yes.
episode. The anti-hero is much more of a mainstream trope now than the unlikely hero, because the unlikely hero is somebody who, like the everyman or the boy next door, he kind of appeals to the average person. It's like, I could be that guy. And, seeing them go through their transformation into a hero.
Kick-ass.
Kick-Ass is a good example. Very good
He's
example.
a very unlikely hero.
Right. And essentially this episode is about unlikely heroes and why they don't really work in role-playing games.
Oh, isn't Han Solo an unlikely hero?
Oh, here we go. Certainly a reluctant
Yeah, I had
hero.
that on my list.
You can't lead with your strongest card, Jason.
Or his only...
Oh, crap.
Hang on.
Hold on. I said Oscar Schindler first.
There's an opportunity here to let
Yeah.
Jason talk about Han Solo and then never hear from him for the rest of the night.
Go.
Jason, go. Begin.
I think Han Solo was definitely an unlikely hero up to Return of the Jedi.
Right. I think with my categorization of him, I think he would definitely be like the cynical dick with a heart.
Right.
Behind the wall of attitude, he really actually has feelings, but he puts out this wall to keep people away.
Right.
Because he's so used to being hurt.
Right.
So yes.
Wow, you just emoed Han Solo.
I was going to say,
Emo Han
really,
Solo.
I never
Well,
ever
The
got
emo
that.
on Han Solo.
Damn it! Now I don't like Han
Well,
Solo.
here's my
Mission
examples.
accomplished.
Here's some examples I have of the cynical dick with a heart. I came up with 2 other ones. Han Solo I thought about, but I didn't put on my list. Ashley Williams, Ash from Evil Dead,
Oh, yeah.
You should have just said Ash. Nobody uses his full name.
Yeah.
That's right.
thought it was a
and
chick.
Sean
You
Riley.
just outed yourself as a non-Evil Dead fan.
Sean Riley, Sean from Shaun of the Dead. Both of them are very cynical. They're very sarcastic. They really don't want to be heroes. At least the first Evil Dead, he didn't really want to be a hero. After that, he became a caricature of his original character. So, but that's the kind of example that I had, was somebody they're reluctant to be the hero, but they almost go kicking and screaming to become the hero.
Yes.
What about the boys from Boondock Saints?
No, those guys definitely wanted to do
Vigilantes, they
Yeah.
really
That's a
got
little
into that.
different. That's a
Yeah.
little
that.
different.
They're anti-heroes for sure.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, there is the unlikely hero and the anti-hero almost they can actually go together in the same.
Sounds like a buddy cop movie, just waiting to happen.
Okay, how
yeah.
about
Riggs and Murtaugh.
Dr. Jack Shepard from Lost? He's a reluctant hero. He didn't want to be
I
the
hated
leader.
that show, so I don't even know who that is.
I never
Or not-
watched
not
that.
really.
I'm with you on that one, Jason.
and Sawyer too. I mean Sawyer.
I remember
Probably
Sawyer.
more Sawyer. than
Spoilers,
Jack.
man. I'm not caught up.
What? Sorry, it's been out for a while.
I remember Sawyer because he reminded me of Don Johnson.
Yeah, I could totally see that.
Yeah.
You mean like
Miami Vice Don Johnson.
visually or tactilely?
I never felt him, so I couldn't say for certain.
I'm sorry, I just listened to our latest episode today, and the whole beard thing
No,
still creeps me out. You talking about that? So
my beard is awesome.
Thanks for contributing, Jason. That was wonderful.
Well done.
You have these different types of heroes. Misfit turned hero. A couple of examples I have: Frodo or Bilbo. I mean, they're
Mary or Pippin.
or any of the halflings.
Yeah, I
from,
think any of them.
because they're misfits, meaning that
They didn't really fit in.
they were marginalized by their society or the societies around them, and they were made to feel, they were made to feel like they were unimportant or a non-factor, and they overcome that to become a hero.
Okay, let's. I'm going to break out of the mold here because we always use fantasy.
Yeah.
Aaron Brockovich.
Okay, a
That-
real world example.
A real world that, yeah, it's your unlikely hero. I think you probably get better.
So, Aaron, and for people who don't know who that is, she was a paralegal who worked for a law firm who actually transcended and became a lawyer and defended.
Exposed a very large pollution case. I don't
Yeah.
remember the particulars. It's been a long
P&G,
time.
I think, was the name of the
and now
company.
she's become kind of an activist for a lot of environmental things.
Right. See, and now that I say that, so we have a lot of these examples in real life. So we go back to your original question: is why don't we do this in game?
Right.
Because this is what we're doing. Is it because we're setting out to be heroes? Is that
I think
the
that's,
purpose?
That's my thought of it is, yeah. I mean, it's like you don't really sit down with your blank character sheet and say, I'm going to make a guy who doesn't really want to be here.
Yeah,
You know?
I'm going to make a farmer, and I'm going to go raise crops.
Well, okay.
Right. But I do like the idea of doing a group like that of all non.
And here's the example that I was going to throw out. Jason did this once, where he made
my
the
God.
reluctant hero, and he called him the fat guy.
The fat guy.
Which was based off of a David Letterman skit. The fat guy, the strong guy, the genius. He'll eat it, he'll bend it, he'll solve it. There was 3 different guys, but I made the fat guy.
This sounds like a good Mutants and Masterminds character.
And he was just a fat schlub.
Yeah,
And
lived in a village. It was a very grassroots campaign, small gaming group.
it was just me and you. I don't think anybody else really played.
Yeah, I think you're right. And it was very, dealing with day-to-day things and then eventually starting to become this hero of his village. And he didn't really want to do it. That's easy to do when you're doing a one-on-one game, though. When you're talking about a game group, you almost have to make that your theme. And it's hard to get people involved in a theme where you're not going to be very heroic.
Especially if
That's
you get a
good.
whole group of people doing the exact same thing.
Right, because people get into games for different reasons. Some people want to really get into the realism of it or the escapism of it. Some people want to get in because they want to be heroic. They want to be something that they're not.
And sometimes they just want to whip an orc's ass.
Right.
Yes.
Sometimes you want to whip an orc's ass. Right,
And
exactly.
really, who buys the shepherd slaying the dragon? I
Right.
mean,
Nobody.
But a lot of your great stories in literature and your movies and things like that, you have that the hero's journey. It's an old archetype.
David and Goliath.
Absolutely, and that's actually the character creation system for the Warhammer Fantasy role-playing system. You start of meager origin, and
Right.
you
Right.
work your way up to...
Man,
Well-
I wish I could play a charcoal burner.
Worst character ever. Excuse me.
Well, not necessarily.
I hate
Not
that
every time. Not every character you make for Warhammer Fantasy will necessarily be
Well, it's like real life. It's random.
Yeah.
You could
It's
randomly,
completely random.
be out of the gate awesome.
See,
Just like real
exactly.
life.
That's what I really don't like about that system is you could randomly roll starting out what the guy sitting right next to you dreams of being in 8 levels. And that's why it's a crap system.
That's not crap.
That's a total crap system.
No, it's not. That's not crap at all. It's awesome. It challenges your ability to role play. Role play random. Just pull it out of a hat and see what you get.
I couldn't even make money using my skill as a charcoal burner.
You can.
Well, that
It was not an appreciable skill.
That
can
was
role play.
a testament to the Warhammer economy, not to the game.
And I know you're a good role player, Mark. I know you're capable. I think sometimes you make up your mind that you're done and you don't want to play.
I think
Yes.
post Pickles Mark would do better at Warhammer Fantasy
agree.
now.
Pickles
Those pickles
I
mark probably
agree,
would.
yes.
PPM.
PPM.
That's going to go on the glossary now.
Don't get me wrong. I would be just as bummed as you would be, I think, to play a charcoal burner. But if that's what I got to play, it's either that or I don't play.
I mean,
I'm gonna play the
it
character.
would have been one thing if I was a charcoal burner who was like really strong or really agile or really smart. But no, not only was I a charcoal burner, but I had incredibly less than mediocre
So
stats
you're just
as well.
playing like Steve from up the block.
Exactly. I was playing a guy that was like, they grabbed Legolas and Aragorn and everybody, and there's all right, and you come on, you're
But I
gonna lead the horse.
You're holding the torch.
I totally would have loved that though, because you're at that point in time, you play up the fact you're just a burden to everybody else around
Right,
you.
Exactly.
You don't even want to be there. You're just like
Charcoal
oh, man.
burner's knocked out again.
Play it for laughs and drag everybody down.
Just see if they let you
done.
die. You know?
Another idea that I had for making a group, like I said, everybody has to be kind of in on it, is making an all small guys campaign.
That was awesome.
We've done that a couple times.
Where and
I agree with
think
you on any
I
of
think
this. I wanna do
I
it.
think the greatest system to do that in would be Warhammer Fantasy, because the halflings in Warhammer Fantasy are weak as hell.
Unless you give them a
Loyal
bow.
Association of Little People. That's right. They're the union.
Play this.
Halfling
Okay, so
Teamsters.
now we bring all our good ideas together and we play a halfling Blood Bowl team.
Halfling Blood Bowl team.
Yes,
that's a great idea.
another idea that we really need to get on.
It'd be a great idea.
Yes, and if anybody has ever played Blood Bowl, you know that the halflings have easily disposable players because they are the ones that get squished a lot.
You could have Brass to be a halfling.
It'd be hilarious having to play like an injured, like he just got his leg broke.
Right.
But he's your guy, so you still have to play him.
I'm going in, coach.
So you talk about unlikely heroes.
Oh, yeah.
That's the guy.
Right.
Rudy.
Oh,
Yeah.
well done.
Not game night Monday, Rudy, but the actual Rudy.
Rudiger.
And that guy, too. You don't know.
I'm sure they gave him that nickname for a reason.
So Sean,
I wasn't there when he was presented with the nickname.
Sean Astin has played 2 unlikely heroes.
He has.
3 unlikely heroes.
Sean Astin, I think himself is just an unlikely dude.
Let's not forget the kid from Goonies.
Goonies, yes.
He was an unlikely hero in that summer movie.
Whitewater Summer.
Whitewater Summer.
Summer.
Wow, Sean Astin's the unlikely hero.
He is
Exactly. That's
yes.
what I just said.
Really? Did you?
He's
Yes.
the poster boy.
I think I know what the picture for this episode is going to be.
Poster.
Yes, we need a Sean Astin collage.
I want Sloth holding up Rudy. That's what I want.
Oh, man.
Wow. There's an alternate to the misfit turned hero that I came up with, which is the Fool. You know, the Forrest Gump.
I'm waiting for a good Danzig joke in here somewhere. There's got to be one to be made. But anyway,
Carry on.
I don't think Glenn Danzig is a hero
At all.
type. He's more of the villain type.
he's a muscular halfling.
So
though.
the fool. Like besides Forrest Gump, who do you mean?
Well, Chunk would be a good one. You know, and it's somebody who's not necessarily a moron, but they have wisdom outside of conventional intelligence.
And obvious shortcomings.
Obvious shortcomings where they like
Pickles.
the other misfits.
Pickles.
Pickles, exactly. Pickles is a perfect example of that.
Well done, Mark.
Quasimodo.
Quasimodo, yes, another good one. So there, all these examples that we're rattling off, you know, they could be used in gaming, but you'd have to have the right mix. Because could you imagine trying to play an entire game of Quasimodo, Pickles, and Sloth?
I've
With
done that.
us, yes.
Done that.
Haven't you and I tried that?
It'd be interesting to sell a game at Gen Con just like that. These are your characters.
And see who actually